Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's that movie guy Zach, and today I'm doing something I haven't done before. Today I'm doing reviews for 3 movies I saw this past weekend, but instead of doing individual videos talking about them, I thought I would instead combine the reviews for them in one video. The reason why is simply because I don't have the time to do 3 videos talking about each film in great detail like I usually do. I'm quite a busy man outside of YouTube, and I've missed out on reviewing a lot of movies this year because of my hectic schedule outside of this channel. So there'll be more videos like this in the future, where I give my quick and concise thoughts on the newest releases to hit theaters. I feel like with these types of videos, I can upload more content, while also having time to work on new content and ideas that I haven't done in this channel before, work on more in-depth reviews for new releases, and deal with other things outside of the channel. Now, let's talk about the new releases I saw over the past weekend. Ford v Ferrari is the newest film from director James Mangold and follows automobile designer Carroll Shelby and his driver Ken Miles, who are tasked by the Ford company to build a racing car that could have the potential to defeat Ferrari at the 1966 24 Hours of Le Mans race. In the process, they have to deal with a lot of trials and tribulations, like corporate interference, their own demons, and basically crafting a flawless vehicle. Going into this film, I was expecting it to be pretty good, but after seeing it, I did not expect it to be as good as it was. The acting in this film is terrific across the board, particularly from Matt Damon and Christian Bale, who give some of the best performances of their careers. Their on-screen chemistry is, in my opinion, the strongest aspect of the entire film. The characters are very well developed, their relationships are interesting and engaging, particularly the stuff involving Ken Miles and his relationships with both Shelby and his family. There's also a surprising amount of emotional depth that I did not expect to see in here. James Mangold does an outstanding job directing this film, and the racing scenes are perfect. They're shot beautifully, are edited to perfection, and are incredibly tense and thrilling. I also have to give kudos to the sound design and mixing because it is impeccable, and does an impressive job of immersing you into the various racing scenes featured throughout the film. The score by Marco Beltrami is very good, the cinematography is top-notch throughout the entire 2-hour and 32-minute runtime, and for a movie being this long, it is paced so well. Seriously, it did not feel that long at all. I'd say my only real gripe I have with this film is that there are some moments that are predictable and cliched, and that's really about it. Ford v Ferrari is an absolutely fantastic film, and is honestly one of the biggest surprises of the entire year. I did not expect it to be this great, and I highly recommend you check this film out. This movie is easily one of my favorites of 2019, and it'll for sure make my top 10 list. I am giving this film an A. Jojo Rabbit is the newest film from Taika Waititi and follows a young boy in Nazi Germany named Jojo, who is a part of the Hitler Youth, that finds out that his mother is sheltering a Jewish girl named Elsa. He later begins to question his beliefs, while also dealing with his imaginary friend who happens to be Hitler. Well, a dumber version of him anyway. Taika Waititi is an interesting filmmaker, even though I've only seen 2 movies of his, which are Thor Ragnarok and What We Do in the Shadows. So I was curious to check this film out, despite the mostly divisive reception it has gotten, with people either loving it or hating it. After seeing this film, I can say I'm on the side of those who love it. All the actors do fantastic jobs in their roles, with Roman Griffin Davis, Thomasin McKenzie, Sam Rockwell, and Taika Waititi stealing the show. This is actually Roman Griffin Davis' feature film debut, and he knocks it out of the park as a titular character. And his chemistry with Thomasin McKenzie's character was one of my favorite parts of the entire film. Taika Waititi not only writes and directs this film, but he also plays imaginary Hitler. I have to give him props for being really funny in the role, but he also never humanizes Hitler. The film still treats him as the monster as he was in World War II. Waititi also directs this film with a lot of passion and care. I don't think this film would have worked as well as it did if anyone else handled it. This film is very funny and heartwarming, but also has many scenes that are incredibly sad and heartbreaking. Waititi blends it all so well. This film shouldn't have worked, but it just does with how well done everything is. Both the musical score by Michael Giacchino and the soundtrack are excellent. The comedy and satire are razor sharp. The cinematography is absolutely gorgeous. The production design is great. The film's use of color is superb, and sometimes reminiscent of a Wes Anderson film, and it has a great message as well. The film basically shows that love and compassion should be embraced, even in a world full of corruption and evil, and how easy it is for people to be manipulated and to hate others who aren't like them in the slightest. I think this film needed to be made, since these are current issues still going on today. Jojo Rabbit was a highly enjoyable and touching film, and is one of my favorite movies of the entire year. I am giving Jojo Rabbit an A. Going into Parasite, I knew basically nothing about it, except for the fact that it was directed by Bong Joon-Ho, it won the Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival, and I saw a few short clips of it online, but that was about it. It's rare that I go into a movie blind these days, but I'm glad I did with this one, because it absolutely blew me away. Every actor in this film does a terrific job, and they give it their 110% in every scene. All the characters are fleshed out and well developed, and the writing and dialogue in the film is absolutely phenomenal. The story is always engaging, and there are some really clever and interesting plot twists that happen in the film. The film is very well paced, and the directing by Bong Joon-Ho is nothing short of incredible. And I find it impressive that he's able to masterfully balance serious and comedic tones. There are parts of this film that are really funny, but others that are nail-bitingly suspenseful and also tragic. Joon-Ho builds tension in this film so well, and there are too many parts that count that had me on the edge of my seats. I also admire him for making both a really entertaining movie, but also one that has really interesting, thought-provoking themes. He's the only director I know aside from Christopher Nolan that is able to do that so effortlessly. The cinematography in this film is gorgeous and some of the best I have seen in any film this year. The editing is just about flawless, and my goodness, the musical score is marvelous, and all the musical pieces were used very well. In conclusion, Parasite is an absolute masterpiece that is deserving of all the hype it's getting. I think it's a film that just about anyone can find enjoyment in, and I even think those who don't typically watch foreign films would probably like this movie. This is one of the smartest and most entertaining films of the entire year, and I cannot recommend it enough. Prior to seeing this film, I'd only seen one Bong Joon-Ho movie, which was The Host, but after seeing this, I will most definitely be checking out the rest of his filmography. This is my favorite film of 2019, only behind The Lighthouse and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and I am of course giving it an A+.